I get hit by a screen or something, my tooth comes out, fam. It comes out. Nobody knows this either. It drops. I'm like, what's in my mouth, fam? I go like, and this is towards this is going into halftime. So there's a couple minutes left. I tell the doctor, I'm like, fam, my tooth, it just dropped in my mouth. He's like, no, it didn't. I'm like, look at this, right? So at halftime, they have a backup tooth back there.
A backup tooth?
Yes.
What is a backup tooth?
A temporary tooth, fam. A temporary bridge. So they got two teeth. Both of my teeth crumble and come out. So at halftime, I'm not even listening to what we're going through. I'm in the back. They're gluing the teeth back in, fam.
Welcome back to another episode of Point Game. We're going to take this opportunity because we're in the heart of the playoffs right now. And this show is co-hosted by none other than Isaiah Thomas, who has an incredible history in the playoffs as a player. And we got to ask you all about it. We got to get some of these behind the scenes stories, some of the most legendary performances. So IT, are you down to just get into it? Talk about some of your best games.
We could go back to memory lane. I'm always good with that.
You know, because the internet, they put together the highlight reels, but we don't know the story behind some of this stuff, some of the people that might have been getting in your ear, some of the motivations. So this is the time exclusively here on Point Game. So let's take it back from the beginning. Now, obviously, it wasn't a successful series in terms of the W, but you have to start somewhere. So let's go to 2014, 2015. The Celtics, your first appearance in the playoffs, you played the Cavs in the first round. And now this is a historic team. Obviously, they had Bron, Kyrie, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, and they ended up going to the finals. So just break it down. Like, what was sort of your mindset going in that first series? You know, as a young guy, playoffs, playing against a legendary team, what was going through your mind at the beginning of the playoffs? And did it change your mentality at the end of that series?
Man, it was crazy. Like, that was probably one of the first times in my life I was a little nervous. Like, I just didn't know what to expect. I remember the night before, I'm on YouTube watching just all game one playoff stuff, just trying to get my mind right. Cause obviously growing up, I watched playoffs every year. I watched the biggest games. I watched all that. And then even in my NBA career, my first 3 years, I didn't make the playoffs. So I was a fan of the game, watching it. Yeah. Seeing who kills, seeing who doesn't. So that first game, it was all white shirts in the crowd. I remember at Cleveland, I was a little nervous. And at that point, I think I just finished second in the 6-man voting. So I'm coming off the bench at this point. Okay. And then once I got in the game, it just got normal. Like, it was normal. I think I had like 20, 10, and like 5 or something. And at that point, it was I remember it was like for an NBA debut, playoff debut, it was like 2 or 3 players to have the stat line I had at that point. Wow. It was like LeBron and maybe, I think it was Oscar Robinson. It was something crazy to have 20, 10, and 5 for your debut. And it was everything to me, even though we lost and we got swept that series. Yeah. But I didn't want to say it. It's good. It's good. It's just facts. We got swept that series, but to play against LeBron and that Cleveland team, to be in the playoffs, I think we were a 7th seed. It was everything you dreamed of, other than obviously getting swept, but like being in that playoff atmosphere, games and every possession really counting. It was like, man, it was like welcome to a new league. It was like welcome to the NBA all over again, because I never experienced that. So it was a tough series for us. We were an up and coming young team, but like to have those moments and to battle with LeBron and Kyrie and those guys, it was everything you dreamed of.
But and that was like the beginning to anyone who was watching the games back, or like the league at that time. There were like 3 or 4 staple teams of the East, come playoff time. It was you guys, it was the Cavs, it was, even the Wizards. And so like, what did you learn from that series that, you took on when you were back in the playoffs at very successful runs later on? Like, was there something that, like a secret that you sort of like found out that you kept with you?
Man, it was just the whole experience. It was just different than different than the season. Like the season's games was just, they're coming so fast. Like it's just another one after another one. The playoff warm-up line is crazy. All the media, like all of that energy was just so different. It reminded me of the NCAA tournament. And then when we got, like, obviously we just didn't have a good enough team to compete against those guys. But I remember game 4 in Boston, we end up losing. And like the Celtics crowd, fam, the last 2 minutes of the game was like, let's go Celtics, like praising us just for just fighting and not giving up, not losing. I mean, obviously we lost, but not backing down and just like giving it our all. And that's when I seen what Celtics basketball was like, what playoff basketball is like. I remember walking into the tunnel after the game, and it was a standing ovation from the fans. And we just got swept, fam. And we're in Boston. Like Boston, if you don't win a championship, your team sucks. Yeah. That's basically what it is. But at that point, you could feel something changing. From that playoff series on, 2015, it went like this. Till now, it went like this. And that was like a stepping stone to the direction that the organization was trying to go in. And we played a major part. Even though we got swept, we got a positive out of that experience.
So obviously, and then in that series, we played against the Cavs. We talked about Bron and Kyrie, and maybe we can talk about the Warriors, like, because those were some of the greatest pairings and teams of all time. Like, how good was, Kyrie? I feel like we haven't seen him at that level since, they made the finals, but he had gotten hurt. But like, how special was Bron and Kyrie? I mean, Kyrie especially.
Crazy. I be telling my kids about it. Like back then, like you like LeBron now. LeBron was faster than everybody, jumped higher than everybody, young. Kyrie did. You just had to pray that Kyrie missed, because I don't even think he knew what he was doing in his mind. All the moves he was doing. And then, like, they had a really good team. Kevin Love, like, they had a really good team that ran through the East. So, like, it was tough to play against those guys. It was tough, but you loved playing against them because you wanted to compete against the best. Like, why not be able to have a chance to knock out LeBron and Kyrie? Like, especially during that time where I feel like, especially the last 10, 11 years, basketball was at its highest point, like 15 through 2018. Like, in terms of the level of play in the playoffs, not even the playoffs, the regular season. I think that was the highest level of basketball.
Nah.
I could be biased.
No,
like,
I agree.
That's when basketball was real high level basketball, and you wasn't just trying to make 53s in the game and do all the things that obviously they're doing now. And no shade to those guys or how the game is played now. But at that point, man, you had to have some hitters, bro. You had to have a complete team to be able to win.
I agree, man. I mean, I hate to sound like an old man yelling on his lawn.
I hate that too, because I don't even like to be like that. But like,
no.
That's facts right there. That's just what it is.
Yeah. All right. So you jump to the next season. You guys play the Hawks. You had a special game in this series. Game 3 in Boston. Drop 42. Walk us through that.
Man, it was everything you dreamed of. Like, we were down 0-2. Atlanta had a really good team. All throughout my career with the Celtics, Atlanta was one of the top teams in the East. Yeah. So shout out to those guys. But man, down 0-2. I didn't know what to do. I just came out aggressive, bro. I came out aggressive. Our fans were behind us. We had the Patriots. All the Patriots was in the front row. Like, it was must-see TV. And I just came out, man, emptying the clip. Like, that's the only thing I knew how to do. And I happened to have a good game, having 42 in the playoffs, bro. I had a situation where I clocked Schroeder's ass on the head.
That's what I was gonna say. Who was guarding you? And did that get tested?
Their whole team was guarding me, CJ. So it wasn't just Schroeder. And I got love for all those guys. Like, there's no hate. Jeff Teague, Cephalosha was out there. Kyle Korver,
shout out to
Al Horford before we end up stealing Al Horford from the Atlanta Hawks. Paul Millsap. They had a really good team with a really good coaching staff. But it was just one of those days where anybody in my way, I was trying to get a win. I was trying to get my first playoff win. So, like, we got swept the year before. We're down 0-2 to Atlanta. It was one of those games where, I just was aggressive. My teammates were finding me. My coaches putting me in position to be successful. and I wasn't taking another loss. And whoever was in the way, obviously Dennis Schroeder was in the way that game, and I had to move him out the way. And, you know, all jokes aside, I had to move him out the way, but we got love for those guys. So like, it wasn't nothing personal. At that point, it was personal, but like, you know, he was talking his shit. I was talking my shit. It's playoff time. The game got physical. And, you know, I had to do what I do to get us a win.
Well, there was talks of suspension, which could have changed history.
I got a little frustrated, and I usually don't ever get frustrated. I'm the king of trash talking. We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. I'm from the land of Gary Payton, so I watched one of the best ever do it growing up. So he was just in my grill too much. That's all it was. It wasn't even the trash talking. I don't even think Dennis Schroeder talks trash. That's like, to be honest, to be completely honest, he was just too close to me. So I had to, you know, get him up off me. And I've done that a few times to some players here and there in college, high school, and the pros. Yeah. You know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I had to do what I had to do. I was this close to being suspended. Shout out to the league. Shout out to the Celtics for doing their due diligence and allowing me to play game 4. And we tied it up on game 4. So appreciate you, NBA.
I mean, listen, when you're dropping 42 and you're on the way to that, whatever, like nothing, you can't be stopped. Your emotions can get the best of you. You're in a zone, you know? So,
but CJ, I was on that type of time at that point.
Yeah.
I wasn't tripping on the outcome or anything. I was doing whatever I could to give my team the edge. And that actually helped us.
I feel like all these experiences, obviously, you lost to the Hawks. We talked about your first time in the playoffs. You guys lost to the Cavs. Let's go to 16-17. Yeah. It all comes sort of full circle. All the experiences built together. We talked about it in the last episode about this Bulls series that everyone thought, you know, you guys were first in the East coming in the playoffs, the favorite, and you almost got upset by the Bulls. So talk us through this series, and then also like what ended up happening the rest of the series.
This series was tough for us. Like they hit us in the mouth early. Obviously, I was going through what I was going through, a personal situation with losing my sister right before the playoffs. So my mind really wasn't even there anyway. So like I was focused on my family and all the other shit. So when game 1, and I had a pretty good game 1 too. Like they just came out and hit us. They punched us first, bro. Like they had vets. They had Rondo. They had Dwyane Wade, who had got playoff experience in championships. They had Jimmy Butler. So they had veterans who knew how to win. Rondo, who's won the championship with the Celtics. They just hit us in the mouth first. They had a guy, Rondo, who obviously is a student of the game and knows everything about everybody's plays. One of the high level IQ players that the game has ever seen. And he controlled the whole game 1 and 2. That's what it was. He controlled the whole game. Our energy wasn't there for what was going on outside of basketball in my life. The leader of the Celtics, I had no emotion. I had no positive energy for my guys. So we were just in a slump. Yeah. We were just out there playing. We wasn't talking to each other. And it had a lot to do with what was going on outside of the court. But game 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, we get to Chicago. Obviously, Rondo gets hurt for whatever. Yep. Rondo's my guy. Were you really hurt, though? Who knows? Who knows?
People always bring up that if they had Rondo.
Were you really hurt? We don't know because we don't know where the injury happened. And that's just all, like, we're joking here. Like, it's all love. But game 3 and 4, you got to give a shout out to our coaching staff. We talked about it earlier. We made a big adjustment. Amir Johnson started every game in the season, was a real big anchor for us. Gerald Green played sporadically. Like he played sometimes, he didn't play. Coach come into the locker room, like when we got practice, he like, man, we about to change things up. We're going to start Gerald Green. And everybody was like, what? Like, we're going to start G? Like, and that's one of my close friends, but I didn't know where this was going. So when we started Gerald, it changed everything, bro. It opened the court up for us. It gave us another knockdown shooter that they couldn't leave. It changed the whole game for us. Obviously, I had some good games. Avery Bradley had some good games. Everybody collectively, after game 2, we got our swag back. We got our energy back. and we wasn't going to be stopped. Like collectively as a group, we were the better team, whether they had Rondo or not. And we showed that. We showed why we were the number one seed. And we just collectively as a group just came together through all the shit that we were going through on the outside noise, my sister's tragedy, all of that. We came together and just dialed in and really swept them boys like 4-0. Like obviously being down 2-0. We took 2 out of their home court, went back home, got 1, and they ended it in Chicago. And it was like in amazing fashion that we were able to be down 0-2. And I remember the media calling us the worst number one seed in NBA history.
Oh man.
The worst number one seed in NBA history. So we had to double back and do our thing, and we did that. And shout out to my teammates, shout out to the coaching staff. We made real live adjustments, and we got the best of the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, you guys, there was a flash there where, actually no pun intended with the flash, but like Wade, it's his hometown, Chicago, and he had requested to get out there. He played with Jimmy out there. You guys kind of ended that potential, and Rondo being there, like during the playoffs, people were like, oh, the Bulls going to have a little, did they figure it out after, getting rid of D Rose and Noah? So like you guys kind of ended that potential, but fast forward to the next round. Now this was when we talk about the mid 2010s basketball, because I feel like this isn't talked about enough. I remember I was working at Bleacher Report, and this was my favorite series. We were staying in the office late, all watching it, and we were creating all these memes and stuff about it, and a lot of them were about you. But the Celtics versus the Wizards, 7 games. There were a bunch of moments in this. A bunch of moments of like, battles and big shots. Teams entering the arena in black suits and all. I want to hear all this. I feel like there's a lot of stories that we didn't hear about Wizards Celtics.
So that was, me and John always talk about it. Like when we see each other, we seen each other a couple weeks ago. First thing we always bring up is like, that was one of the best playoff series in a long time. Like I think that was the favorite for a lot of people during that time. Cause anybody that I go talk to or brings that up, even during that time was like, man, this is the favorite series on TV.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is like, I've known John since I was 15, 16. So we've been friends since then. I know the twins. I know the Morris twins since I was in high school. So we've been friends. Bro, once game 1 started, we didn't talk to each other. There was no dabbing each other up, bro. Yeah. I remember, so this is what really happened. Game 1 starts, all them guys, condolences to my sister, all of that. Yeah. It was all love. After that, it was like, F you.
Damn.
We don't care about you. You hit the ground. We're not helping you up. And that's how it was all season long. Like they won their 2 at home during the season. We won our 2. John and Jay Crowder got into it where John slapped Jay Crowder in the face after a game. All of those things happen. We get to the playoff series. It's on and cracking. Yeah. Game 1, they start out 17-0, I think. 17-1. They talking their stuff. They're talking big shit, bro. To a point, I can't even say nothing. The first time in my life where I can't even, it's 17-0. I'm like, Killer, I can't even talk my stuff because we're getting blasted, bro. Yeah. We're getting blasted. Then my tooth comes out. I think game 1, my tooth comes out.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it was just all downhill in terms of my life, what I'm going through on the court, what we're going through. We're down 17-0. I've got hit in my face thousands of times.
Man.
Teeth never come out.
There was a screenshot that lived on the internet of just you smile. I don't know if the camera caught it at a perfect time. You like smiled or open and it just, the blood and the
I'm showing them on the bench. I'm like, look at this, fam. This is crazy. So that all happens. We end up coming back that game. It's an amazing game. I had 30-something. I think John had 30-something. I remember Markieff Morris rolling his ankle. He did something and he thought it was Al Horford's fault. So it was a lot of beef in between game 1 and 2. Game 2 starts. That's on my sister's birthday, bro. My late sister's birthday. Again, nobody's talking to nobody. I remember one of the first plays, Markieff Morris, And Al Horford's going for a loose ball. He hits Al Horford hella hard. Boom. Knocks him into the stands. Al Horford gets up. Everybody's talking their stuff. So that's what type of game it was. Fast forward to later in the game. I think I get an and one or something on
Otto Porter Jr. Yeah.
I got a layup. That guy hits me on my head. His nose is bleeding. Me and Markeith get into it. I'm on their sideline. He's like, they're trying to tell on me. They're trying to tell the ref on me like I did something. I'm like, damn, his mouth hit my head and they called a foul on him. It's so many crazy words being said. After that, fam, me and Markeith don't talk the rest of the series. We get into our little thing to where at the end of the game, that's why I'm ISOing him at the end. I promise you. That's the only reason why I'm ISOing him. Because he was talking that earlier. And then he goes on his pod. He even says it. He's like, I was so mad that IT ISO me. I was on a bad ankle. I couldn't move. I knew he was about to cook me. It was funny because when I cooked him, I hit him with like a couple crossovers, hit him with the jumper. And if you watch the highlights, I'm just looking at him the whole time on the way back. I'm looking at him like this and he's not trying to look at me. I'm like, yeah. And I got him. And then fast forward, obviously we won that game. I had 53 or 52 points. Mm-hmm. It was a battle.
Legendary.
Then we go to the Wizards. They win those two games. They have a run in the game 3. I think they went on a 28-0 run, fam. The craziest run I ever seen in the history of watching basketball and playing basketball.
You were in it.
And I was in it. And I told John Wall to this game, you look the fastest person I've ever seen on that game. Like it's like you had your sliders on NBA 2K on 99. That's how crazy it was and how amazing they played that game. Game 4 is another thing where we get into it. Nobody's talking to each other. The list goes on. Every game was something. Even though they won game 3 and 4, we go back home game 5. Blasting boys. Game 6, John Wall hits the game winner.
Yep.
The game winner at the buzzer. He stands on the game 6. This is when I tell all my guys the night before we leave Boston, bring all black. We're going to the funeral, fam. Everybody has to wear all black. I sent a message to everybody. Game 6, wear all black or I'm telling Brad you're not playing, fam. We walk in all black. They hear about it. I remember John saying something in the game. This is one of his first time talking to me because we just wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to wear all black, huh? I'm like, yeah, and we about to get your ass too.
Wow.
About to get your. So it was back and forth like that. So then when John hits the game winner and then he says it after the game, don't come to my city wearing all black. Oh, I was like, oh, it's on and cracking. I got something for you for game 7 then in Boston. So it was, and funny story. When I get my tooth knocked out, I only have temporary teeth. Like, so when I get my tooth knocked out, it pushes 4 of my teeth back. So they take out 2 of my teeth.
Wow.
So in between game 1 and 2, I had 14 hours of dental surgery. So 7 right after game 1. I had to go to the dentist right after game 1. 7 hours, numb, braced up, all of that. The next morning, 6 hours. So I didn't even go to practice the next day. So they put temporary teeth in my stuff. So game 4, I get hit by a screen or something. My tooth comes out, fam. It comes out. Nobody knows this either. It drops. I'm like, what's in my mouth, fam? I go like, and this is going into halftime. So there's a couple minutes left. I tell the doctor, I'm like, fam, my tooth, it just dropped in my mouth. He's like, no, it didn't. I'm like, look at this, right? So at halftime, they have a backup tooth back there.
A backup tooth?
Yes.
What is a backup tooth?
A temporary tooth, fam. A temporary bridge. So they got 2 teeth. Both of my teeth crumble and come out. So at halftime, I'm not even listening to what we're going through. I'm in the back. They're gluing the teeth back in, fam. This is crazy. So nobody even knows about that. They're gluing the teeth back in to where the whole halftime, I gotta hold a towel so it just super glues back in. So it could just, and then I wear a mouth guard so it's not coming out. So I'm going through all that. So John Wall hits that. I remember going back home, going back to YouTube again. I'm watching game 7s because I'm nervous. Like anytime it's the first thing that I've done, whether it's playoffs, my first NBA game, All-Star game. I go to YouTube just to see what my favorite players were doing for game 7. So I was a little nervous, but we came out. That was the Kelly Olynyk game, bro. We came out, blasted them boys, especially in the fourth quarter. I think I had like 29 and 12.
Yep.
Kelly Olynyk had the game of his life. It was the series for the ages, bro. Like I'ma always remember that series. I remember after the game 7, me and John Wall dab up, me and Markeith, like it was to a point, CJ, with Markeith, if we didn't talk ever again, I was fine with it. That's how personal it got.
You just understood.
That's how, and it was fine on both ends. It was to a point where even his brother Marcus, game 4 and 5 are game 3 and 4 and game 6. Marcus is front row in the Wizards. Talking stuff too. So, without his brother, he talking too. To a point where I know all their homies too. I was like, I'm cool with not talking to any of you guys for the rest of my life. Like it's good. That's how personal it got. Then after that game 7, Markeith coming to you, he's like, I love you, dog. It's all love. This was just playoffs. This was just basketball. My mom loves you. My family loves you. And I said, man, I'm glad you said that because I was not going to talk to you the rest of the way. And that's just what it was going to be. So it was all love and it was all love and positive after, but that was one of the series where like, that was the definition of the playoffs. Like we don't like you, you don't like us, and we're fine with it, bro.
I can't believe I'm just sitting here in disbelief on the dental surgery.
Oh, the dental. I'm telling you, bro. Nobody knows the second part. People know about the 13 hours of dental surgery, but the second part where
the spitting out your teeth,
I got hit by a screen, and it was probably by Markeith Morris. I got hit so hard, my shit just started crumbling. I'm like,
you should have sent him the bill.
Don't do this to me right now on national TV. Don't do this to me, bro.
So do you have to get it checked on still, or like is it still?
I'm good now.
Okay,
it's cemented in, CJ. These ain't coming out.
And that's cool. And shout out to John, who obviously I got to talk to a lot too. And that's really cool to hear that. I mean, for the rest of your guys' lives, you're going to see each other at events, hosting shows together, or, tournaments or whatever, and just see each other and just remember, like, you guys went to battle and were like truly one of the best series in playoff history. So that's so dope.
That was amazing. If I didn't go to the playoffs after that, if I didn't do nothing after that, I was cool with that.
Yeah.
That was what the playoffs was about.
I'm going to YouTube and I'm rewatching those games and the highlights with that context.
You got to.
So I do want to spend the last few minutes of this episode because I know we got to get out of here, but just shouting out, as a fan growing up, you talking about watching YouTube all the time myself as well, loving the game. Give me a couple or one or two of your favorite all-time NBA playoff series.
My favorite, the Western Conference Finals, I think it was 2000, Lakers versus Blazers.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers down 17 to start the fourth. And I'm I'm a big Laker fan. Kobe, my favorite player, Shaq, all those guys. I remember where I was. I was at my house. I felt like the Lakers had the best season ever.
Yeah.
And then they were about to lose to Portland. And then one of my favorite players ever, Damon Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse, was on that team. But like, that was tough. But the right to left crossover to the alley-oop to Shaq.
Throw it up. See it every.
Bang it. Then he's pointing like this. Like, that's like my ultimate playoff memory as a kid. Like, that's obviously on the way to the Lakers' first championship. Like, I'm always going to remember that moment. Cause I was the kid when we were down 17. I was like, it's over. Yeah. It's over. Like, it's a wrap. And I was so mad at Kobe. I was so mad at all of them. I'm like, how do you lose to this team? But that series was my favorite ever. Like my biggest memory. Obviously one before that, 1996, when the Sonics played the Bulls. Like, I wish I was able to go to those to see Michael Jordan, but even just to be able to play against the 72 and 10, the Bulls and Michael Jordan in the finals in Seattle, that was dope. I got another one, year 2000, Iverson, game one against the Lakers. Like, I was hot about that because I'm a Laker fan, but super happy for Iverson. That was the step over 48-point game.
Ty Lue.
Legendary game one on the road. Like, I got so many, man. It's like you said, YouTube. I hope NBA TV comes back out with playing the older games.
Yeah.
The older, like the early 2000 matchups. I got another one, Vince Carter, Toronto Raptors versus the Philadelphia 76ers when he went to his graduation in North Carolina.
Oh man, I forgot about that one.
I think that was game 7 on the road against Philly. And he misses the shot at the buzzer to win the game. I remember the world being mad that he was going to his graduation that day. Iverson cooking. Like I remember those games. I felt like all those games were on Sundays, and I was at church on Sundays, and I would leave church just to sneak and go watch these games. So like that was my childhood, bro. Like
that's what I was gonna say. It defined us as kids. We were like, oh, we love this game.
It was real life battles, man. And I miss those days. Not saying they don't happen now, but I felt like every series back then was like, it can go either way.
Exactly. I mean, we'll get more in depth on it, but we talk about those early Lakers teams. People talk about it's a dynasty, the three-peat, but man, they were this close to losing to the Blazers. They were this close to losing to the Kings.
Man. Like, and
history would have been different.
They probably should have lost to the Blazers. They probably should have lost to the Kings. Like, and I'm a Lakers fan. Like those you never know. Like the Kings had those matchups was crazy. The cowbells and all of that in Sacramento. I hated Mike Bibby and I loved him at the same time because he was killing Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
Killing Shaq in the drop coverage. Like I used to hate that, but I used to love those playoff series though, bro. That was when basketball's at a high level now, but that was like, man.
Well, IT, man, we're hopefully we're going to get some of those series this postseason that we're in right now. But I appreciate you giving all those backstories and sharing, again, your love for the game. Man, we got so much more playoffs coming up. So, guys, keep it locked here on Point Game. We're going to get into it, and we appreciate you guys listening. Peace.
Peace.